And now for something completely different, or a little different. We've got a unique guitar to show you that is both from down south, but also from the Far East. Stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas, and you can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like our videos. If you want to support us, check out our spring store link below for custom swag where you can look cool, and also check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional. So today's video is for something that I know at first glance, it looks normal. It's not. This is a unique Taylor Academy 12E, but the model number is different. It's what, an EG?
EG12e Limited.
EG12e Limited. What this is actually something kind of like what we have done with Taylor, which is a dealer exclusive option. Now you're saying, well, is it your exclusive? It's not our exclusive. So why do we have it? Because it's from elsewhere. It ended up on a list that we have access to, and we're like, yeah, that looks cool and different. Let's order that because we know you guys like stuff like that. But there's actually an interesting story about this in context to what we've experienced. So we've done our exclusives with Taylor. Mm-hmm. What I have learned is that exclusivity is based upon distribution. And so when we first did our Chris McKee signature models, which were the 914 CEs with an Engelmann spruce top and the Cindy inlay, it was so popular that people outside of the United States wanted them. So in the US, it was exclusive to us, which it should be. We came up with the idea. But I remember I panicked once. Have I ever told you this story? Someone
maybe
on Facebook in a group posted a photo of their 914 CE Limited, and it was our 914 CE. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They bought one of our guitars from us. And then I realized that they were in Europe, and we are not allowed to sell a new Taylor guitar to someone outside of the United States. Okay? So I panicked. I was like, what did someone do? Because I was so afraid we were going to get in trouble. And then I found out, oh, okay, well, they get to do it too. And of course, I got a check in the mail.
No.
But it's cool. Anyways, I'm very glad that people were excited about those models and that it spread around the world. Anyways, this was made for a dealer, and I say that word maybe dealer giant in Japan.
Yeah.
So you want to read for us?
So the EG stands for Evergreen Limited. And it says on the inside, spoiler alert, that this is designed for Shimamura music. And in my limited research and also inability to speak or read Japanese, because the website was in Japanese.
Oh, you didn't use Google Translate?
I didn't get that far. I realized what was going on, and then I was like, well, we got the guitar, we can show it to it. It's whatever. But yeah, so obviously that may be a name that you're familiar with. To my understanding, they're a large music conglomerate in Japan. And they have pretty cool taste.
Yeah.
And I also would like to pull back the curtain a little bit. You know, sometimes you see on our website, we have factory used guitars or factory demo guitars. Right. We get these lists that Chris and I go through, and it's like, okay, there's some stuff, as you can see, maybe they were used for marketing purposes, or they've been, you know.
They were at the NAMM show, they were used to show dealers what's new, that kind of thing.
And, you know, they're factory demos, and we get a little bit, you know, we get to offer them at a slightly reduced rate because they've been used in some capacity, and a lot of people have taken advantage of that. They're basically like new guitars. They're always great quality. They're checked through thoroughly. And so we kind of go see, and some of the stuff is kind of interesting and unique. But then this came from a completely different list that was a bunch of random stuff that was like, it was the hot list. And we both saw the EG12e Limited that said Maple and Lutz.
Yeah, we're like, what is that?
We had no idea what would show up, and then we saw that there was one, and we're like, well, let's get that. Let's see. And luckily, we're pleasantly surprised with a pretty cool guitar. This could have been just a normal Academy, and they'd be like, all right, we have another Academy. But yeah, so their customization on this was the top and the back and the sides.
Yeah, so in my mind, very Japanese to see this pairing. And I think the top is from an aesthetic choice we'll talk about, but the back and sides in that beautiful flamed maple, of course, like an Academy, it is layered flamed maple back and side. So you have two thin veneers and that middle piece like you typically see in the construction. But it's just that blonde maple. There's no stain or anything, which is very normative. And the pairing of it with this Lutz top is going to ensure that that kind of pale coloration remains. If you put a Sitka top with maple over time, you get this like darkened color plus the blonde maple, whereas this should have a more consistent coloring over time.
And if you do remember, we had a Martin custom that we got from the factory that was also built for a Japanese company. May have been the same, may not have. However, the color combination was very similar.
Yeah.
Really blonde back and sides. It was hinoki or Alaskan cedar is what they called it, but it was just like this, super pale blonde on the back, really bright white on the front. And so it's really cool. I probably now will do a little research to see if that one was for the same.
It could be. Well, and there's a preferred aesthetic, and there's something that we've talked about, I think, when we first did those 914 CEs, perhaps, because it was Engelmann spruce with bear claw. And there's something in the guitar markets that most guitar manufacturers are aware of, and that is you can market bear claw wood to like North America and Europe, and it's fine, and a lot of people like that figuring. Some people don't, but generally speaking, it's fine. But in Japan, they don't want that. You know, they don't want bear claw, and so if you had a guitar like what we did and you wanted to market over there, it wouldn't be as well received. It's the simplistic elegance and design that's really preferable.
Yeah, and the maple, it is figured, but it's like real
Consistent.
Straight, very consistent, very pretty. And so this is kind of one of those things.
I actually think I know why I might not, this right here, that might just be like, oh, you can't ship that one.
Maybe so. That's interesting. We've been showing a lot of customs that are very high end from Taylor that we've gotten in. This is kind of an opportunity. Everybody likes the Academy in terms of just a great, entry level acoustic guitar. Armrest, you don't start seeing that until Builder's Editions and 814s and 914s, all that. So that's one of the reasons the Academy is so beloved, and it's got the ESB and the new one, so this is a relatively new guitar. It's not just like something that's been sitting around for years. And otherwise, they're easy to play. They're really comfortable. Everybody likes an Academy. This isn't something we're going to have a ton of. This isn't something that we're going to have more than one of. We got it off the hot list, and we picked the only one that was available. So it's kind of cool. It will go fast, I'm sure. But if you've been looking for an Academy and you want something that's just a little different, straight out of Japan and also Mexico.
It's so straight out of Compton. It's like straight out
of Japan, yeah. So it's pretty cool. I played it. As with all the other Academies, easy to play, sounds great. So take a listen.
So there you have it. It's a very unique Academy 12E from a different market that we just happen to have access to. I was telling Cooper, it reminds me of they did a GS Mini like this that I think was for Windham Hill, and I think they maybe did it one other time as a limited run. So stuff like this does pop up from time to time, but what it allows you to have is something special at a lower price than, you know, like you were saying, a custom guitar or some of the higher end limited editions. And I really dig the aesthetic choices on this, the maple neck, the maple back and sides, the Lutz top. Sounds cool because Lutz is a little different than Sitka.
Yeah.
It's what they typically use for the nylon strings, in fact, for the Academy 12. And yeah, a real nice pairing. This is, for all intents and purposes, never say never, but the only one we have of this guitar. But we thought it was cool enough to do a video for you. And one of you is going to own it, so yay for you.
Enjoy.
So if you want more information about this guitar, you should probably just call right now, but you could go to our website, which is
alamomusic.com. And if it hasn't sold already, it is yours. And probably one of the most inexpensive one-offs that we're ever going to have.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
pretty cool stuff. If you'd like to see something like this, I don't know that Taylor reads our comments. Put it down in the comments. What would you like to see from a limited edition? Maybe that's from their Made in Mexico line. We're talking Academies, Babies, GS Minis, 100, 200 series. They do limited runs of that. What would meet your appetite for a Taylor guitar from there? It'd be interesting to know. So let us know in the comments below. Let them know in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like our videos, and you keep commenting, and we will keep talking and coming back and showing you more cool guitars.